I think a lot of the motivations of tech workers is simply to do something that's challenging.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, people
of
love
course.
working on challenging things. I
Why
think
wouldn't
that,
you?
you
Yeah,
know
but, like, literally, it's like somebody gives them,
You
"Oh,
think they created their
can
own
you make it?"
problem on purpose?
No, but I know
We're gonna
how
make this
the
really
tech workers.
woke and racist, but in the other way, so we have to fix it because we need something to do for 5 more months so we can get paid. But you know what I've also learned as I've kind of gone through and just kinda like I mean, I do this and I do a bunch of things for this show, and I do some other fun things, whatever. There's also a lot of people out there, Joe, who really waste their time. They have the time to actually devote to going to a candidate's website or learning about a thing or reading something, right? There is an abundance of time that you could facilitate towards doing other things. People just choose not to. Now, why they may choose not to is has a whole host of variety of different reasons. Some people may have a lot of kids and are super busy and are just too tired. I think a lot of it comes down to probably being just tired. Like you might like there are times even myself, I get done with my workday and I want to research something. I want to read the paper or the article about a topic I care about, and at some point I'm just like I am just too tired. I have the time where I could do it, but I'm just physically drained from my workday or whatever it is, and so I choose to just relax because I need my body to reset, my mind to reset before I could go and
And
read
so
that thing or
wouldn't it
look
be
into that.
so much better if you just have your AI do it for you?
No, that's also that's also the
AI
point.
is the
No.
modern slavery.
Oh, that's an interesting. That's
in
a
what
that's an
in what
interesting. Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
Like
You
the
need to
AI is the
expand on
slave?
that.
Oh, geez, I was trying to tie it back to the to come full circle here to move on, but, like, okay, because what is AI
That
not
was a
I
that
love
slaves?
was a
how
that
I
was
love
a
how he was surprised he made an interesting point.
yeah, that was like a super interesting, super deep point. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
just say that and you can't just move on
He's
from
like, "Oh
that
no, I just meant that to be a button." This,
because that got all of us thinking right now.
yeah.
I thought that was apparent. I mean,
No.
when, I mean, what I was sort of alluding to in the past when
Well, because I agree
A
with you to a degree. Yeah.
AI is modern slavery or will be theoretically in that sense. It's you can create machines to do work for you. You will do work that you tell it to do.
I mean, I don't know if that's modern
Wait.
slavery any more than, like, just having any computer that we've had for many years is modern
Uh,
slavery.
I misunderstood his point, Discount Jamie. I thought he was saying that like human beings would be the enslaved due to AI. And I think what you're saying is modern slavery is like AI robots doing the work so we can focus on other things is like
Yeah,
them
that's what I
being the
thought.
slaves.
I thought you were saying
It's
basically
it's
AI is
one or
gonna
the other. It's
free
whoever
Well, yeah, it
whoever
could be one or the other.
it's gonna end up being one or the other. It's
Well,
not
that's basically
yeah.
the whole point of like Blade Runner, isn't it? Basically the replicants are like basically slaves that are run by regular
I
humans to
think that
do
actually
jobs and
brings
things,
it
right?
brings it back to the point of so you should probably figure out the right
It is.
regulation to make sure that we actually benefit from AI, right? To the point where we actually freed from all of
Yeah, of
these.
course, this is the number one. I believe this is the number one political discussion. I don't know if I mentioned this on the show. Yeah, this is the.
It
To
should be,
me,
but
it's
it's
not even
not.
close. It's not close. This is the number one political topic that
Well,
every
it isn't.
politician should be. It should be.
It should right, there's a
This is the
difference.
most important. This is the most important subject affecting our lives and our future.
One day this topic might be the most important topic for politicians to be discussing and how we're going to deal with policy around this, but today it is not.
And
Today it is still in its infancy where we have issues with Gemini
and for the
putting
record,
everything as
I
basically in like a blackface to a degree. Yeah, I mean,
but
basically
for the rec
a different kind form of it, but basically.
yeah, just for the record, I don't uh I think that it is good that Google or OpenAI or any of the other researchers have meddled with this to some degree, to the point that they are sort of when what's his name?
Discount Jamie.
Discount Jamie
When this
or
guy
Walmart
Jamie
Jamie.
was surprised by some people's lackluster reaction. I mean, it's highly problematic, but also it's to just leave it alone, I think is also problematic, and that's something that people to his point, the open market has reacted to in the past. People have released uh released AI tools that have then in the public been shown to be problematic, and there's been adverse reactions to that, and people make adjustments accordingly. In the case of Google, they adjusted too far, but I don't think the answer is not making any adjustments at all. It's finding somewhere in the middle, and that's where I see I think what I said already, that the biggest issue for me is uh, that it's being released too soon without being adequately tested. The testing that they
Well,
did, obviously they did
that's
testing.
what foreign guy said.
The testing that they did was obviously insufficient. And is there a case where it can be sufficient? No, it's not
Or
possible.
was
It's not
it?
possible to
Or
be.
was
But
it?
it's
Well, this is the argument that Discount Jamie also is saying, that Republicans and conservatives are saying. Is it really a case of poor testing, or is this a clear sign of bias in tech companies that is adversely affecting people of the other
well,
side? That is the argument. And then
it
and
is a
then
case. It's
who's actually programming these things? Who's overseeing the programmers? How can we trust anybody in these tech companies to do things in an impartial way that will not have adverse effects on our daily lives and how policy and things are made in the
when
future because of
100%.
mistakes like this?
100% you cannot trust the people to make
Goddamn right you
decisions.
can't.
100%.
I think that's the whole point.
And yes, that this is definitively proven, and this example definitively proves it. Yes, you cannot trust. We cannot trust Google
Agreed.
Okay, so
at
now,
all.
so then
Period.
it's like,
At
well, what do
all.
you do about
You
it?
cannot trust Google. Period.
What do you do? So what's the solution then? You cannot trust these people. That's what we've come to that conclusion now. And so then the question is, what do you do about it?
DuckDuckGo is for anyone who doesn't know, not a
not
sponsor
currently a sponsor
yet.
but we welcome it.
Uh,
I think. Wait, where are we going with this? Do we want them as a
Of
sponsor?
course we do.
Yeah, they're
We do?
pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we want you. Yeah.
DuckDuckGo is a search engine that works in the same way that Google did, but they do not track your data. They do not follow
Oh yeah,
you
no,
around
we're
the
definitely
internet.
fans of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But please sponsor us.
DuckDuckGo. Yeah.
Currently taking sponsor applications as we speak.
Google used to have the motto. Their slogan was a motto slogan. No, it was like the company message.
A slogan is a motto.
Yeah, but
it's
I think it
basically
was more.
one and
It
the
was
same.
their number one message that they gave to all employees was "Don't be evil," and then they got rid of it.
Well, to them, this is not being
That's
evil.
pretty
right?
evil to get rid of your slogan that
That's-
says "Don't be evil." You
So
just
that
I
this
imagine
is
just a guy
not
with
being
a mustache like you had one time, just going. He's got like a cane and a monocle. Maybe just the Monopoly guy. And he's just there. We've taken out the phrase. Let them be evil now.
I think their official reasoning was they thought it was no longer necessary.
I
But I,
which is exactly what an evil organization would say. Oh, this isn't necessary anymore. Well, why isn't it necessary?
it's also that they made that when the founders, I can't think of Larry Page and
Sergey.
Sergey, yeah, back when they were grad students at Stanford, when they first established Google,
Did they ask Gemini to show a picture of them, and did they? Did
So
they
I was
come back
actually
as
playing
black?
around with Gemini just now, and
Oh.
it seems to be mostly fixed, which is funny because when all of this started to come out, they didn't pull it back and fix it immediately. I read things that said they were doing that, but then I went on, and like days afterwards, I was still able to make it say ridiculous things. So, but now it appears from my like 5 minutes of doing this to be fixed.
Well, that seems to be the thing everybody likes to do with anything that's AI based, which is to ask it ridiculous things and see what it'll pop out with. Because it is difficult to program for the depravity that is the human mind at some points.
I mean, yes and
I
no,
mean-
right? I mean, they're not. It's weird to say that they are quote unquote programming this. I mean, they are in a literal sense, but it's a extremely complicated, neural net model.
True.
So it's actually, this is the other thing that I thought was funny about this. It must have been challenging for them to make the AI behave this way. Like this isn't something that happens by accident.
I think that is also. I think you're hitting on a really key point as well. I I think a lot of the motivations of tech workers is simply to do something that's challenging.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean,
of
people love
course.
working on challenging things. I
Why
think
wouldn't
that,
you?
you know,
Yeah, but like literally, it's like somebody gives them,
You
"Oh,
think they created their
can
own
you make it?"
problem on purpose?
No, but I know
We're gonna
how
make this
the
really
tech workers.
woke and racist, but in the other way, so we have to fix it because we need something to do for 5 more months so we can get paid. I mean, that'd be a hell of a sinister thing to do, but
be
I could see it
smart.
happening.
No,
I
but
could see it happening.
this
We
has
need
been
Google to keep us. We're gonna get fired. We need a reason to be to be here. How
this
many
is
programmers do they have? Like ridiculous
I
amounts of
Well,
programmers
well,
that
that's
do
not
nothing
where
but
their
program
bloat
all
is.
day.
Their bloat is not from the actual engineering staff. Their bloat is from like middle managers on middle managers on middle managers,
Oh my
coupled with
god,
all
the
of their DEI
endless,
bullshit.
yeah, the endless middle managing. It's like the film Office Space where you have 7 bosses telling you to fill out your TPS reports. Hey,
that's
hey
how.
there, Peter. Did you happen to get that memo about the cover sheets on our TPS reports?
And I don't.
But now it's, hey, did you see the problem where everything's being made black on the Gemini thing? Yeah,
But
I did see that, Steve. I'm gonna be working on that.
yeah,
Yes, yes, Janet,
I
I saw it. Thank you.
you have to think about the incentives that a lot of
I don't
engineers at
know.
like massive firms have in order to move up, right? The way you move up as an engineer at a Google or a Facebook or a Netflix or what have you, right? It's not to be the best engineer you can be, although obviously that is extremely helpful. No, it is
I
rather
thought that was a slogan for the army.
sort of.
Be
So it
all
no,
that you can be. Google.
rather it is to politic your way up by saying the right things and signaling the right beliefs, coupled with trying to hire as many people under you as possible so that you can look important.
Correct.
And eventually you get so far away from the code that your legitimacy is derived not from your skill as an engineer, but rather by the system that exists around you and your place within it, right? You
It's a
know, when
weird
you
MLM.
manage, yeah. So when you manage people that manage people, you're not touching the code. In fact, you probably haven't in a long enough time that it will be difficult for you to do so. So you're only valuable because you exist in the place that you exist. You don't really do anything, right? And so because of that, they are incentivized to maintain the structures that support them. Hence DEI bullshit.